Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today, I will be welcoming a great talented character actor, Joel Polis. You all know him from classics such as John Carpenter's The Thing, and he guest starred on many horror sci-fi shows back in the 80s, like the Twilight Zone reboot, The Hitchhiker, and he was also in movies like True Believer, The Rookie, It's My Party, and so many others. And I'm having him on the show today to talk about all that stuff. I hope it all entertains you during this insane time of the coronavirus. So, here is my interview with Joel Polis.
Tommy?
Hey, Joel.
Yeah, there you are.
Yeah. Welcome to the show. How are you today, sir?
I'm good. It's windy and getting ready to rain here in Los Angeles, but we love the rain when it comes.
Yeah. Yeah, we got fog and rain over here in Redding, Redding, California.
Where?
Redding, California.
Oh, you're in Redding. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've spent a night once in a motel in Redding.
Oh, you poor thing.
No, it wasn't bad. We were coming back from the solar eclipse of the sun. We went up to Oregon, to the Cascades to see it.
Mm-hmm.
And so we made a 12-day trip out of it. And the last 2 days was driving back from Oregon to Los Angeles. So there was a, motel in Redding. We stopped there for the night, finished up the next day.
Yeah. I've been here 3 years. I want to get out.
Oh, where are you from?
I'm originally from San Francisco.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can imagine why you want to get out of Redding.
Yeah.
Restaurants.
Exactly. It's such an honor. Thank you for taking the time today.
My pleasure.
So, going back in time, I was reading that you caught the acting bug your freshman year in high school when you were cast in the production of West Side Story.
Well, actually, it was my freshman year at USC.
Oh, okay. Not high school.
Yeah, I had a full gymnastics scholarship to USC, and at the end of my freshman year, I looked around me and I began to realize that I was not going to make the Olympic team. There were some great gymnasts, and I was about 10 to 15 pounds too heavy for my height, and it was just a physical thing. Some people are made for some sports and some aren't.
Mm-hmm.
And although I got pretty far on what I had going, so at the end of my freshman year, this guy used to come into the gym to work out occasionally. He was in the drama school. One day he came over to say, "Hey, Joel, they're doing West Side Story over there. They made me a tumbler. Why don't you try out?"
Yeah.
And I went over to him, and I got a part. And that summer they took me to the Edinburgh International Theatre Festival, and I did a bunch of other plays as well as West Side Story, and that was it. I was hooked.
Who did you play in West Side Story?
I was one of the Jets. I was A-Rab.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a good part. That's really cool to be a part of the Jets.
Well, that musical is, there are only a few that have come close to it as far as I'm concerned in terms of music, lyrics, and story. But then again, it's Romeo and Juliet. You can't get better than Shakespeare,
Yeah, it is magical. It's a magical play. And I heard Spielberg is doing a remake of it.
Of West Side Story?
Yeah. It's coming out later this year.
Great.
Yeah.
I'll be the first one to go see it.
That's going to be interesting, yeah. So you decided from there that you were going to pursue acting as a career. When you were in the Summer Theater Festival, was that just the most amazing experience ever?
time in my life, yes. I mean, suddenly I went to Europe. I mean, you have to understand, when I first got on the plane from Philadelphia to go to Los Angeles to go to college, I'd never been on an airplane before.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, when those jets revved up, I was like, oh my God, I'm jumping into a fantasy world, you know?
Yeah.
And then at the end of my first year, when I became aware that I was interested in being an actor, to go to Europe for 3 months and travel around Europe with a theater company and do plays and see the world was like a dream come true. So it kind of pretty much sold me on the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you learn a lot from other actors that you took away that you still use to this day?
Well, if you have half a brain and any kind of consciousness, you are learning from everything that's happening around you. And USC happened to be a school. For instance, in West Side Story, John Ritter played Riff, the head of the Jets of my gang, and John Ashton from Beverly Hills Cop played Lieutenant Schrank. And Jack Bender, who went on to be the producer of Lost, he was playing Chino, and it went on and on and on and on. So I suddenly was thrown in with a bunch of people who had grown up in the entertainment industry. It was the furthest thing from my experience. And I just, I didn't realize how lucky I was, if there is such a thing as luck. And I just got thrown in with a bunch of incredibly talented and connected people. So I began my journey at that time. Yeah.
And
I was 18.
Mm-hmm. And I was reading you had a short stint as a circus clown.
Yes, with my overblown ego at the time, I felt like the drama school at USC was not getting what an important actor I was. And so they weren't casting me in plays and everything. And I did get a role, which I realized later was a terrific part. You look back in anger. But I wasn't experienced enough to really see it when I read the script. So I dropped out of school with a roommate buddy of mine who was also had been the captain of USC's gymnastic team. And we tried out for the circus in case they needed acrobats or tumblers. And so he and I got these jobs, and 3 months in the circus really instructed me through experience that that's not what I wanted to do. So it lasted about 3 months, and then I left, and I went back to New York for a summer. My first time by myself in New York, and I studied for the summer, and then went back to USC, finished my degree, and got into drama school, Yale Drama School. So that was my journey.
And you studied under Lloyd Richards in New York?
No, yes, in New York, he was my acting teacher, and Lloyd had directed Raisin in the Sun on Broadway, and he went on to take over the Yale Drama School after I left. Robert Brustein was our dean, very important theater critic and producer, innovator. And then Lloyd came in after I had already gone to New York, and he kind of opened up the school to a more diverse community and brought in August Wilson, the great African-American playwright, and they did a lot of first-run shows with him. But yeah, so Lloyd Richards was my teacher, and he kind of altered my whole perception of the theater and acting, what it is and what it can be and could be. So, yeah, Lloyd was a very important teacher in my life, and rest his soul,
Yeah. Was there any students in your class that went on to become hugely successful?
Well, at which school? At Yale?
Any of them.
Well, at Yale, I was there with an extraordinarily gifted group of people, and talents. Meryl Streep was in the class in front of me. Sigourney was in the Weaver was in the class. She was in the third class. I was in the first one. And Alan Rosenberg, who went on to become the Screen Actors Guild president and had a terrific career. Playwrights Wendy Wasserstein, Christopher Durang, Albert Ingrata were all at school with me. Mm-hmm. And Louis Black, one of my favorite political comedians, was in the playwriting department in my class. And he started getting his chops at the Yale Cabaret. He'd stand up on stage with a scotch in one hand and a cigarette in a shaking right hand. and he would do his comedy because he was, just finding out how he did his comedy. But so Louis was fabulously successful. And in my class, Christine Estabrook, Alma Cuervo, they were two of the more successful stage actresses. But I had a really remarkable experience there and learned quite a bit.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, seems like it was a magical time for acting in New York.
It was the late '60s and the '70s. I remember when I went to NYU, I didn't know from anything. I was such a kid. I was 19 and on my own, living in the East Village, and I got to see plays off Broadway because they were producible. They didn't cost $1 million to do an off-Broadway play like they do now. And people tried out new writing styles and acting styles, and everybody was being extraordinarily creative, and there was an explosion of new playwriting talent and plays coming out of New York all through the 70s. I got back to New York after Yale when I was in 77, and even then, right up until the 1980, the AIDS crisis did a real number on New York and San Francisco. You may be too young to remember, but
yeah.
It really decimated the theater. But for that time that I was at Yale and in New York, there was just a profusion of new playwrights that were being produced from England, from the United States, from all over the world, and there was so much theater going on and so many great actors coming out of New York at that time. It's funny when I look at the theater now, or I look at the movies now, I don't know that many people working because New York, you got out of Yale or Juilliard, or you were coming in from wherever you were coming in, and you went on the stage and you honed your craft there, and then the movies would come and grab you. So when I first got to New York, Kevin Kline, William Hurt, Mary Beth Hurt, Patti LuPone, Manny Patinkin, Jeff Daniels, everybody was just cutting their chops on the stage, and then they just were, put into lead parts in movies. So it was a really extraordinary time. And not an easy time financially, God knows, but, had a couple of breaks and started working and didn't stop.
Yeah, your first movie, of course, was John Carpenter's The Thing.
It was, yeah. And John, it's funny, when I went in for the audition, he actually had seen me in the only student film I had acted in at USC. I volunteered to do this film, and this guy was working on it and everything, and I'm sure all the graduate students got to see it. Mm-hmm. And John remembered me from that movie, and so we had a kind of an open communication when we realized that, and he cast me, and I'm forever grateful. It was just a terrific experience, and I'm still friendly, socially with Tommy Waits and Keith David Clennon, and Nazar whenever I get to see him, Peter Maloney. So, it was a great bunch of guys. A lot of theater actors in that movie.
Yeah, I've talked to Tom Waits. He's a great guy.
Yeah, Tom's terrific. Yeah.
What was John Carpenter like as a director?
Well, John was, uh, if I'm not misquoting him, he thought that The Thing was one of his best films. I'm sure that's true. He was a real innovator and the best kind of a leader because he relegated and collaborated with the special effects guys, the cinematographer, the sound people. He was in on everything, but he chose people who he had confidence in, and then they would bring him ideas and he would run with them. And also, it was a working process. When we shot in Los Angeles, most of the film was shot indoors in that rec room or inside the ice station that they created on the lot at Universal. And we were going up to Alaska to do the exteriors, but he didn't think it was going to be, none of us thought it was going to be very much shooting outside. But when he got up there and saw how gorgeous it is up there and how beautiful and the scenery was and the excitement of the ice station and the weather and the helicopters and everything else, he realized he had to open the film up. And so I know he wrote 5 new scenes for me in the play, in the project. And so the whole movie opened up and really made it a much better film. So my point is that John is an artist and he was evolving not only the script but filming his vision of it as it went on. So
yeah,
it was great working with him, and I had a great time. I know Tom had a great time. I know Keith did. Donald Moffat wanted to be at home with his family, but he went. He was doing a job, and he was a pro. T.K. Carter hated it up there. It was too cold, and it was snowing, and it was kind of funny watching T.K. do that whole. I'm an outdoorsman. I'm a backpacker. I used to be a rock climber.
Mm-hmm.
I've done some mountaineering, alpine mountaineering, and I've always been somebody who loves the outdoors, spends a lot of time outside. So it was kind of fun to watch who could deal with the cold and who couldn't.
Yeah. Do you think the movie didn't do well because it came out right after E.T.?
Well, what do you think? You just named it, so you must have an idea about that.
I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah, and the next weekend, Poltergeist came out.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great film too. So it was just badly marketed. But you heard the story that the Black People was supposed to open and it was not in any way, shape, or form ready to open. And we were in great shape and waiting for a June opening or whenever it was. And they just threw us in there with like 2 weeks of PR. And it just kind of blew the unfolding of the film. We didn't do well when it premiered, but as time has gone on, obviously, that it's become a cult classic, and it really set the bar for special effects. Some of the guys who worked on the special effects and makeup for our movie, they will tell you that from the time that Charlie Hallahan has his heart attack until they blast that thing running away with a flamethrower, this little spider on the ground. This guy, I forget his name. He's from a long line of makeup and special effects people. He said it's
Rob Bottin.
No, it wasn't Rob Bottin. Rob designed it, but this guy actually helped build everything. I'm blanking. In any case, he said it's 5 of the greatest, special effects ever on film.
Nice.
And it really is. If you go back and check it out, that scene's wild. The blood test scene. Not the blood test. That scene where Charlie opens up and starts eating everybody around him. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. Were you familiar with the original movie?
Oh, yeah. When I was a kid, my brother and I used to, Saturday afternoon, thing would come on at least 4 times, 5 times a year, and we'd sit down and watch that movie. And boy, when James Arness was outside in the snow and started throwing the dogs around, we were just terrified. I mean, it was, yeah. And it's an interesting movie. It holds up, but it really doesn't get started for about halfway through the movie. But yeah, I know the movie well.
Mm-hmm. So after that movie, you did a lot of episodic TV shows. You did the reboot of The Twilight Zone.
I did. David Steinberg, the comedian turned director,
right,
directed my episode, and that was great fun. And I worked with Wendy Phillips, an actress who I've worked with a couple of times. She was in it also. It was great just to be on something called The Twilight Zone,
Yeah.
That was great fun. Yeah, and I did a dozen movies or so, but the thing is probably the most. I worked for Clint Eastwood in the Rookie, and I did a wonderful movie about the AIDS epidemic called It's My Party.
Right.
With Eric Roberts and Greg Harrison, and and I did in my career I've done 120 episodic TV shows, including Cheers and Seinfeld, Law and Order, and everything that was going on at that time.
Mm-hmm. And you did an episode of The Hitchhiker, Man's Best Friend.
I did with Philip Noyce directing, the guy who directed Clear and Present Danger, and
The Saint,
an Australian guy. Say it again.
The Saint. He directed that too.
The Saint?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't keep up with everybody's credits and what they're doing and that kind of thing. But Philip was great. He filmed up with Michael O'Keefe, another guy I've worked with a few times, and terrifically talented actor. And I knew him from New York, from the stage in New York. And then the great Santini, he was just amazing in that movie with Robert Duvall. And yeah, so Michael and I went up to British Columbia. We had a good time in The Hitchhiker. And in terms of sci-fi, I did the Stargate.
Stargate SG-1?
Yeah, one of those Stargates. I had a great time once again in Vancouver, and that turned out well, and there were a bunch of other things.
How about working with James Woods in True Believer?
Well, he was a force of nature.
Yeah.
James Woods. Photographic memory, brilliant, impulsive, actor, extremely confident, very smart guy. Went to MIT, and his work in Salvador was spent. I mean, in most things he does, he was a remarkable actor, and that was once again. Actually, that was funny. That's when I did Cheers.
Mm-hmm.
I was supposed to do an episode as Gary, private bar owner, but I was shooting up in San Francisco, and I couldn't get out of that contract. So that's one of the episodes of Cheers that I missed with it. They filled in with another actor who they thought looked like me, but didn't really. But whatever.
How was Joe Rubin as a director?
Once again, this is an odd coincidence. Joe actually lived in my building in New York when I was living there, and I had actually never met him. But I met him on the set of True Believer, and it was funny because I got a call on a Wednesday night, and the actor that they had originally cast in the part either got sick or there was a personal emergency or second. I imagined that I was second choice, so they just flew me up, and I filmed the next day and the day for the following week. So, one man's misfortune is another man's good luck.
Yeah. And working with Clint Eastwood on The Rookie, I heard he shoots really fast.
Clint was great. I mean, I got trouble with his politics sometimes, but in terms of the way he treats actors and feeds actors and casts actors, he is really, he's a straight shooting guy, so to speak. He was fun to work with. I worked. They partnered me with an actor, uh, Mackenzie, Matt Mackenzie.
Mm-hmm.
His character's name was Yang, and Matt is this, thick eyebrow Scottish descent, American actor. Once again, the actor who originally took the part of Yang couldn't do it, so they hired Matt. But they didn't change his character's name. He said it's Yang. It was so funny. And so Matt was a theater actor, and he and I would just spend hours just kind of figuring out shtick we could do in the movie.
Yeah.
And Clint just loved us for that, and kept most of the stuff in the movie. We tried to find all the humor we could get out of it. We were like the bumbling detective duo.
Yeah.
We couldn't get anything right. But Clint was great. And you're right, he shoots on time and under budget, and the quietest set I ever worked on. I mean, he goes to work, and it's all business. You're not there to mess around. You're there to shoot a movie. So he was a joy to work with, and I loved hanging out with him too, for sure.
Yeah, I know he's 90 and he's still going.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's amazing. He has a great quote. They asked him about that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're 88. How do you do it? He said, "Got to keep the old man out."
That's a great quote.
It's a great quote. I just hanging on my wall
How was It's My Party, that experience?
Oh, that was really. It was a terrific script based on Randall Kleiser, the director's own experience with his partner.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them catches AIDS, and that character, Eric Roberts, throws a party and brings everybody in his life together. They're all feuding and everything, and he brings them together to make peace with each other. And at the end of the party, he kills himself. And it was amazing because there was George Siegel and Eric and Greg, who was a friend, and I've worked with him on stage since then. And I actually did a couple of things with Eric. He's another really gifted actor. And there were so many stars in that. Margaret Cho was in there, and Olivia Newton-John, and who else? God, there were so many. They just were coming in and out. It was wild. They were all, coming together for Randall and to honor him and his vision. And it's a really classy, artistic film.
It is. I think it's a beautiful film.
Yeah.
Margaret Cho was in it. Roddy McDowell, Bronson Pinchot. Got a great cast.
Right. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
And Eric Roberts, I met him at Comic-Con last year. He's a great guy.
Yeah, and he's really talented. I did a miniseries with him down in New Orleans called Dark Angel, and he's terrific. He's really versatile and present. He's a hard-working actor. I appreciated being able to work with him a couple of times.
And wonderfully eccentric too.
Yeah, aren't they all? Everybody is.
A lot of them are. Yeah.
Sorry?
I said, yeah. A lot of them are.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
So, do you have any upcoming projects?
No, at the moment I'm kind of I took a couple years off, and I just started new representation, and so just starting to go out and audition around, and so there's nothing in the offing at the moment, but that will change. It always does.
Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, Horror Hound was canceled.
Well, unfortunately, but yeah, I'm delighted it was canceled. As soon as when we started getting close to the convention, I was just looking at the news and saying to myself, they're going to cancel it. I knew they were going to cancel it.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad they did. trying as long as they could to keep it alive. But it just would have been crazy for us to all, 15,000 strangers in the hard fan community in 2 or 3 rooms, coming in and out from all over the Midwest, the South, and the East Coast. And
Yeah.
you can't get out of there, you know? So it just seemed to me like that would be a monstrous petri dish. I'm really glad. They postponed it. It'll be up again in May. And if everything's calmed down, as I think it will be, I hope it will be. We don't really know what we're dealing with yet. I hope we'll get a chance to go to Cincinnati and participate.
Yeah, the HorrorCon I go to in May in LA, Monsterpalooza, they just announced it got canceled.
Oh, yeah, I've gone to a few of those. I figured that would get me.
I know you guys, all you guys from The Thing were there a couple years ago, and Keith David was the only one I got to meet. All you guys had, like, lines that were out the door.
Well, actually, Keith's lines are always out the door. He's a big star of all of us.
Yeah.
I think that, of course, Kurt and Wilford was, but Keith became a really big star from The Thing. That was his kickoff. I think his next project was Platoon, so he's had and he is monstrously talented, Keith.
Yeah.
I've seen him on stage a few times, and I saw him play Paul Robeson in a one-man show, and I got to tell you, he was better than James Earl Jones when I saw him do it 30 years before.
Wow.
Keith can really sing, and he's a Shakespearean actor, you know, like James Jones, and he had that gravitas and that connection with the audience. It was extraordinary to watch him do that. He's extremely talented. So are they all. I mean, Tommy Waits. So is Dave Clennon.
Yep.
John put together a really beautiful cast, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Richard, everybody.
That's saying a lot considering that James Earl Jones is one of the greats, too.
Yeah, I saw James Jones on stage about 4 or 5 times when I was living in New York and everything, and he's a great actor.
Mm-hmm. He's one of the best.
Keith can hold his own easily, let me just tell you.
Mm-hmm.
That voice of his is extraordinary, and he's, you know, he pushes himself. He did a movie he did Requiem for a Dream.
Yes. He
just blew me away in that. To go to that dark space so easily and with such a slimy, you know, ease, criminality, lack of. He was amazing. He's a great actor.
He is a very good actor. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, next time you get booked at a convention in California after this insanity ends, I will definitely be there.
Well, I look forward to meeting you in person, and hopefully we'll figure out what this is and how it works, and we'll get through it quickly, and we'll get back to our lives.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. How do you pronounce your last name?
Polis.
Polis. Okay, I got it right. Okay, I was just making sure because one of the reoccurring themes is I always get certain names wrong.
Oh, like what? Like who? Anybody I know?
Oh, none that I can think of off the top of my head, but I have gotten a lot of names wrong. I know that.
Yeah, no, it's Polish without the H.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, Polish without the H. Well, Joel, thank you so much for coming on today, and you have yourself a great day and stay healthy.
I will, and that goes for everybody who's listening. Take care of yourselves, be healthy, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, sir. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, there you have it. Joel Polis. Ain't he a cool dude? Wow, he's very passionate about acting, it sounds like, and very professional guy as well. And well, I guess he's happy Horror Hound's canceled, but I know a lot of you horror fans out there are not. But they will be back again. The cons will be back again after this damn virus is done. If you like this video, everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Add me as a friend on Facebook. Join my Tommy Kovac comedian page on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram and all that fun stuff. Well, that's all time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying, there's no shame in living in the past, because the present sucks. Later, dudes, and wash your hands.